Welcome to the South Bay Lakers Virtual and Fitness Clinic. We are presenting today the clinic from the Lakers court here at the Boys and Girls Club at LA Harbor. We are excited to have you here, as well as all of our Junior Laker participants to join us today. Remember, today is all about you. Basketball and fitness are about movement and progressing your skills. Our goal today is to lead you through exercises and drills that will make you better as well as be fun. First, us fitness coaches will run through some beginning warm-up exercises and then progress to some greater exercises that are designed to help you jump higher and run faster. We ask that you listen to your body. So if you need a rest or you'd like some water, please do so. We'll then transition to our basketball team. So let's get started. We're gonna introduce our coaches, Coach Joni and Coach Mariah. We are super excited to get you guys started today. Let's get it moving. You're likely working out at home or at a park nearby. There's a couple of things that you guys can use to make those workouts a little bit more difficult and challenging for yourself. First thing we have are some water bottles. You can use these for some weights to substitute. If you don't have dumbbells, water bottles are a great way to add in some weights. You can either leave them all the way full like Mariah's right hand, or you can go halfway with the water bottle, a quarter of the water, or over 3/4 of the water, depending on where you are. You can also use a broomstick, but this takes place of a PVC pipe or a bar. So these are some different ways that you can add in. Again, we're gonna go over a couple of different exercises and some ways that you can modify it to make it yours. All right, guys, again, I'm Coach Joni. We're gonna go ahead and get warmed up first. We're gonna start with a high knee run, just at about a half pace, keeping those knees up nice and comfortable. Next exercise, we're gonna go to a quad pull. Some of you guys might know this as a flamingo stretch. Notice Mariah is bringing that foot up behind her, getting a good pull and stretching out the front of her leg or that quad muscle. You're gonna wanna stay in this exercise for about 20 seconds and repeat it until you feel nice and warm and ready for the workout. We're gonna go to hamstring scoops. This one's gonna get now the back of the leg. You're gonna basically step out forward, scoop those hands all the way around, come nice and tall. You wanna alternate legs, so you're getting both legs. Again, this is a hamstring scoop, so make sure we warm up both the front and the back of the leg. You're gonna wanna stay in here for, again, about 20 seconds. You can repeat it until you feel ready to go for your workout. As we continue with this warm up, we're gonna now move to a squat. So a basic squat, you're gonna go feet apart, staying nice and tall, and you're gonna just drop down, sit, and come right back up. Notice Mariah's doing a really good job about keeping her shoulders up and not leaning forward. She's pushing back and dropping into those heels. Great job with that warm up. The next exercise is gonna be a calf raise. You're gonna stay in these calf raises for about 20 sets. Take a little pause and you can do them again. Make sure that we're nice and warm. Again, she's staying nice and tall and repeating with those calf raises. All right, guys, the next part of that warm up, we're gonna go with a calf raise. So the calf raise, we're gonna keep the ankles together. Notice Mariah is doing a really good job by staying nice and tall and poised. Her ankles are locked in and staying nice and stable. You can also modify these if this is nice and comfortable or you wanna step it up a notch and turn your toes inward and push those heels outward and continue with the toe raises. For these ones, you wanna do about 2 sets of 10. Again, remember this is a warm up. The next part of this warm up, we're gonna go to some arm circles. Our upper body obviously needs a little bit of love and some warming up as well. We're gonna extend those arms all the way out and we're gonna work on some small forward circles. Nothing big, nothing crazy. We just wanna make sure your shoulders are ready to work. You're gonna take about 10 of these going forward and then we're gonna switch it and then go backwards. So notice again, her arms did not drop. She's doing a really good job about staying nice and straight and rotating backwards. These are arm circles. Last part of this warm up, we wanna make sure that you are fully warm and ready to go. We're gonna go into a jumping jack. Jumping jacks here, remember you're gonna be explosive on the toes. Pretty basic, but again, very, very good for the warm up and everything we have in store for you today. You're gonna stay here for about 20 seconds. Our first exercise is going to be a linear in and out. Both feet in and then both feet out. So let's transition over to her while we work with those arms and feet. Again, this is our agility section. We will crank this up a notch, just getting used to the exercise and where we are. Our next exercise here with the box, we're gonna go to a lateral in and out. So we're gonna step to the side of that box and you're gonna notice Mariah is stepping in and out of the box, driving and working on that knee. It's gonna get a little bit more exciting as we go, but right now we're getting used to the box as we transition. These are called lateral in and out. You're gonna wanna stay here for about 20 seconds and repeat this exercise 2 to 3 times. So it's time to progress. We just worked on a couple of different exercises here in those boxes. Our first exercise was that linear in and out. We're gonna now step it up and progress it to a high knee. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna step in, and notice she steps into the box with a nice high knee and then steps out. 2 feet in, 2 feet out. Again, this is a linear in and out on your box. Great job, Mariah. Couple more here. Perfect. All right, guys, we have the box all put together. We're gonna go to a linear in and out. This is a progressive exercise where you can step it up a notch if you're a basketball player or play other sports, or if you're just working through. If you notice, Mariah is moving her feet pretty quickly in and out of that box. So this is a quick shuffle, again, working on getting faster and stronger. If this speed's a little bit too much for you, we can slow it down and just go in and out. So we're nice and comfortable here as we get used to the exercise. Great job, Mariah. So that next exercise is gonna be that lateral in and out. You're gonna be stepping on the side of that box, nice and comfortable for the first part of it, and there's some progressive exercises that we can add. We're gonna start it out first, just in and out, nice and comfortable. Mariah's doing an awesome job crossing and picking that knee up. From here, we can pick the knee up even higher to get a little bit more explosive and a lot more athletic. And then that last progression is we take that tempo up a whole bunch. We're gonna shorten up the feet and we're going super fast in and out. Keep those arms involved, keep engaged. Mariah's crushing it with that lateral in and out. You guys are doing a great job here working on that agility section. So our very next exercise, we're gonna go to our pogo hop in and out of the box. This was that calf raise I was mentioning in that warm up. If you pan over to Mariah, you're gonna see that she's hopping in and out of that box. And it's okay if you need to check down and make sure you're staying in that box because that's your goal. From here, you're gonna go in and out. You're gonna wanna see these about 10 times in, 10 times out. We're gonna then progress and go to a single leg. Mariah's gonna go to that left leg in and out of the box. You wanna do 10 of these, and then you're gonna go ahead and switch feet. So now the right foot is going in and out. And to finish out this section of the exercises, we're gonna go to a quick feet. So we're gonna crank it up a whole bunch. If you notice, Mariah here is gonna go quick feet and drop it down to a drop squat. Give yourself maybe a 4 count, drop it down. She's alternating arms and being extremely explosive. We're working it, stay in that box, and we are going for it. Quick feet and drop it down. And nice job, Mariah. All right, guys, let's transition over to our strength station. Time to get moving, working on some muscles and seeing what we have. Remember, you guys have equipment at home that you guys can use. We're gonna go ahead and get started. First things first, if you have a ball laying around, maybe even a basketball, we're gonna get started with that one. You can go feet apart and we're gonna work on a basic squat. Remember, on a squat, you want to make sure that those heels are not curving all the way in, and those toes are out at a nice angle. Mariah's doing an amazing job by keeping your shoulders nice and tall. And with that ball in hand, it kind of reminds you a little bit about basketball here. Some progressions to that squat, you can go ahead and drop it all the way down and alternate with that knee lift. So you have that ball in hand or not, but you're going to squat it down and lift that knee. Alternating legs nice and tall. Remember, the chest stays nice and tall, and we are dropping that bottom on that squat progression. Another progression that you can add to the mix is a sumo squat. So again, much like a basketball player, you're gonna go in and out with that squat, dropping it down and squatting it out. Perfect job on those sumo squats. So you're popping it in and popping it out, keeping it nice and explosive. Next exercise we're gonna work on is called a curtsy lunge. So again, if you have that squat position and that ball, you're gonna start right there and you're gonna basically step behind and curtsy from side to side. If you have that box still on that ground, use that as a marker. It's gonna tell you exactly where to step and cross down. Let's step it up a notch a little bit here. We're gonna go to now what's called a speed skater. You're gonna start with that box and cross from side to side and just do a nice little touchdown. If the touchdown is a little bit too hard, you can just come to the knee and tap at the knee. But for a speed skater, you cross and step behind, keep it explosive. We're gonna go ahead and use that broomstick for some lunges that we have coming up. Our very first one is gonna be just a basic forward lunge. Here you're gonna wanna alternate legs, stepping forward, staying nice and tall. Again, with this exercise, you don't want that knee to bang on the ground. You're gonna step and just hover it right above the ground. And that broomstick, notice, is getting pushed out in front just for some added fun. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to a forward lunge, alternating leg. And you're gonna notice Mariah stepping forward and keeping her arms straight out in front for these lunges. Very important on that forward lunge to make sure that we hover above the ground. You don't want to bang your knee on the ground just to protect your safety. From here, we step forward and back together, keeping those arms out in front with that broomstick. If If you are tired, talk to your body, let your body speak to you. Take that break. If you need some water, take a pause and get some water. So that broomstick is back for our next exercise. We're gonna work on a lateral lunge. Instead of keeping those arms out in front, we're now gonna throw it back onto our shoulders. We're stepping from side to side and coming down nice and comfortably on that knee. We wanna make sure that we keep those toes forward as well as staying nice and tall. That's what that broomstick's gonna be there for. So we went forward in front with that broomstick. We went on the back with that broomstick. We're gonna now take it above the head. We're gonna work on a split jump. So what we're gonna do with that lunge, we're gonna now make it explosive. Mariah's doing a really good job by keeping those arms nice and tall, keeping the chest nice and tall as we're explosive in here. And again, keep those knees off the ground. We're gonna go to some push-ups. With the push-ups, make sure that you are in a comfortable position. Some people will start at that hard position, which is a full extended kind of a plank position. As we move to Mariah, I'm going to have her do a couple of these in a full position. You want to make sure your shoulders are forward and that you're dropping it down. Great job. But a way that you can modify this, we can drop that knee in, down to the ground, and keep those heels up. From here, it's really important that we stay keeping the eyes down to the ground as we lower it down. Again, this one's on you, whatever's comfortable for you. We all love that plank position, which is a push-up position. If a push-up is a little bit too difficult for you, you do have a couple of options. We have what's called a shoulder tap. You'll be in that plank position, the same exact thing, but now you're just tapping from side to side with the shoulders. Notice Mariah's keeping it really sharp and crisp, and she's not shifting that body much. Again, this is a shoulder tap. You're gonna wanna do these for about 20 seconds. Great job, Mariah. If the high plank is a little bit too much for you, we can also do a modified plank position, which is going to be a low plank position. If you notice with Mariah, she's in that low plank position where she's keeping her body nice and firm and straight. Those glutes are squeezed, the stomach's up nice and tight, and there's no arch in her back. So those water bottles that we mentioned in the beginning of the workout, we're gonna get using one of those. Remember, you can use these half full, all the way full, or 3/4 full. The first exercise we're gonna go into is a prone row. So with the prone row, you're gonna stand in a lunge position, and Mariah's doing a really good job, and you're gonna basically pick that water bottle up and put it back down, without touching the ground, of course. If you need a little bit of support here, you can take the opposing arm and rest it on the knee just to make sure you have some stability. A progression with that prone row would be to step it up a little bit on tempo. We're gonna switch legs here and show you what that's gonna look like for a sped up prone row. Again, you're gonna take it up a little bit faster. Imagine somebody behind you and you just wanna get them away from you. The support system here is gonna be that arm on the leg, keeping it nice and balanced, but now moving up with a faster tempo and depressing it down just as fast. Great job, you guys. Hopefully you guys are feeling pretty good. We're gonna move on to a tricep exercise. Remember that ball that you guys used earlier? You can use that for this exercise, or you can also use those water bottles. With a tricep exercise, you're gonna make sure you take those arms nice and tall above the head, and you're gonna be dropping it down and extending it all the way up. Next exercise is gonna be a shoulder press. This one, again, you can use those water bottles or you can use that ball. So with the shoulder press, you're gonna stay nice and tall, and that ball's gonna come from the chest all the way up to the ceiling. You have a couple of progressions here where you can take that tempo up a notch. If you're playing some sports and you're trying to progress, take it up a nice speed, going up and down with the ball. So the progression for that shoulder press is gonna be taking that ball all the way up and then taking it down to the ground, alternating legs as you come up with a big reach.
Hello, my name is Daryl Roper, and we're here representing the South Bay Lakers to give you a clinic on the fundamentals of basketball. To my right is our trainer, Kevin Jackson, and to his right, our trainer, Jason Ingram. So our first drill is going to be dribbling. It's the basic fundamentals: right hand dribble 10 times, left hand dribble 10 times. One of the things you'll notice is they had a guard hand out while they were dribbling. That is to protect someone trying to steal it. It's a really, really good, fundamentally sound way to learn how to dribble. This next drill is going to teach you how to dribble on the move. We're actually going to be coming up and going back. And one thing you need to pay close attention to is that guard hand out there, because again, it's keeping the defender away. This next drill we're going to do is about balance and dribbling the ball on the move again. Now you're going to see a lot of a rocking action going back and forth, and the primary goal here is to keep the ball below your knees. The lower the ball, the easier it is to control. So moving on to the next exercise, we actually put cones down because we're going to build on what we just did. The guys are going to go inside and out of each cone to hone their skill of control with either hand of the basketball. Okay, now we're moving into incorporating the dribbling that you just saw with shooting. One of the most important things in shooting is squaring your body to the rim. Once you square to the rim, your release point will help your shot tremendously. So we have cones on the ground so the guys have a visual as to how they want to make what we call the curl move. It literally looks like a curl, and they will show you how to shoot from there. Now, at this point, we're going to go ahead and go into what I consider the most important part of basketball. It's the triple threat: shooting, dribbling, passing. The defender has no chance once you master this craft. So what we're going to do now is just show you the basic movement, and then we'll get into actually dribbling and shooting. Now this is with a defender so you can get an actual look at what it looks like. Defender is moving because he doesn't know what the offensive man is going to do. Now we're going to talk about passing. Passing is essential in becoming a good basketball player. The rules start with the ball on near your chest, elbows extended, stepping towards your teammate and pushing the ball directly towards their chest. As you can see, you have to step. You get more zip on the ball when you step towards your target. The other element in passing is for the receiver to always have their hands ready. If you're not ready to receive it, there's a good chance the ball may hit you on the arm and you lose it. Now, the other piece we're going to do, we're actually going to start leading the receiver so they continually move towards the basket. Okay, this is a more advanced move, but so important. It's called the give and go. You may have heard that terminology. What we're going to do is have our offensive person actually lead with his left, because we know the defender has to honor that, and he's going to go, in our terms, a back door, which means he's just going to cut behind him and receive the pass for a layup. Now, Jason is using this triple threat, passes to KK. Looks like he's going to get a pass, and he gets a layup. The defender will follow that pass. Pass it over to Kevin, who will fake it and then throw it to him for a layup. That's called the give and go. One of the last pieces we're going to do is show you how to use your teammates by setting a pick, on-ball pick, and free up your teammate for either a shot. And if you watch very closely, you're going to see the guy who sets the pick actually can get a layup, depending on what the defense gives you. Kevin's triple threat throws to Jason, sets the pick, and then Kevin rolls. Jason has an option to shoot that or pass for a layup. In that case, he shot a layup. We're going to let you guys see what it looks like to get the shot. Kevin's in triple threat, sees Jason, sets the on-ball pick. Kevin rolls, Jason fakes and shoots it, and he works for a construction company. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what I consider the most important part of basketball, and it's the free throw. You know and I know, if you watch basketball, no matter how great the player is, they always, not all of them, but a lot of them struggle from the free throw line. And to me, it's all mechanics and it's all mental. Today, we're going to talk about the mechanics, because that's what we can control. Now, Jason he's comfortable squaring up to the rim, as we talked about earlier. He's got the ball in his hand, he sees his target, and he's gonna do what we basically call a bend and extend. So you're down and you come up as one motion before you release. If you watch his body, it'll start from the bottom and it will not stop. Perfect. Where I think a lot of players make their mistake is when they come up, they stop, and then shoot. You become an arm shooter and your rhythm is off. Perfect. Last but not least, a game you can play with your friends. And I'm going to challenge Kevin and Jason to play this game. If Jason shoots and he makes it, Kevin has to follow him and make it. If he shoots and misses and Kevin makes it, the person who loses owes us 5 push-ups on camera. All right, there's Jason. Well, the game's over, ladies and gentlemen, right there. And Kevin will demonstrate, no, the game's over. And Kevin is now paying the price for missing his free throws. Just a fun way that some things you could do with your friends. We appreciate y'all, and go Lakers.